Hello, the name is Daman Dev Sood, your host for my weekly show, My Top Tips. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. IST. Every day, every episode, every Sunday, I pick up a topic of interest to me, which I believe is of interest to you all also. And the topic would be around resilience, business quality, risk management, crisis management, information security, environment, sustainability, anything that may be of interest to the society. Now I propose to go on a series of episodes around the same theme for about 10 episodes. This series would be called Lessons from Life, History, and Indian Wisdom. Episodes will be like what every CEO can learn from Nalanda, which I will cover today, and Chitragupt, the world's first records manager, and why time is the most patient cyber attacker, and the day I realized I was wrong, and what Mahabharata teaches about continuity, and my Outlook Express is still alive, yet dead. And 40 years, thousands of customers, one lesson. So, continuing with episode 1 of this series, what every CEO can learn from Nalanda. Most of us know Nalanda as one of the world's oldest universities. We remember its magnificent buildings. We remember scholars traveling from distant lands. We remember that it was eventually destroyed. But I don't think the greatest tragedy was the destruction of the buildings. The real tragedy was the loss of memory. Think about it. Buildings can be rebuilt, libraries can be reconstructed, new universities can be established, but can centuries of accumulated knowledge be recreated? Can the thoughts of forgotten scholars be rewritten? Can experiments be repeated exactly as they were? Can wisdom accumulated over generations simply be downloaded again? The answer is obvious no. When Nalanda disappeared, humanity did not merely lose books. It lost questions that would never again be asked in the same way. It lost answers that future generations would never again understand in the context in which they were discovered. It lost discoveries that may never again be made in quite the same way. It lost the accumulated thinking of generations. It lost the context. That amount and quality of knowledge perhaps cannot be recreated despite spending huge amount of effort, time, and money and energy. And perhaps we do not even have that amount of resources. And that made me wonder, are organizations making the same mistake today? Every organization proudly talks about creating data. My reports, more reports, more dashboards, more emails, more presentations, more AI models, more documents. But very few organizations ask a much more important question. If all this disappeared tomorrow, what part of our organizational memory would disappear forever? Many executives believe they are protecting their organizations because they have backups. Perhaps they are, perhaps they aren't, because storage is not memory, backup is not recovery, and information that cannot be understood, restored, trusted, or fruitfully used in the future is little different from information that has already been lost. The real asset for an organization is not its buildings, not its laptops, not even its software. Its greatest asset is what it has learned over the years, its successes, its failures, its customer understanding, its engineering knowledge, its research, its decisions, its organizational wisdom, that is its memory. And a great deal of this is never formally recorded. It lives in the hearts and minds of the people, the organization's invisible intellectual property. And memory is what creates continuity. This lesson goes beyond organizations. Families preserve memories, communities preserve traditions, nations preserve history, civilizations preserve knowledge. The moment they stop doing so, they begin losing a part of themselves. Perhaps that is the real lesson of or from Nalanda. The danger is not that our buildings may burn. The danger is that our memory may quietly disappear while all our systems continue showing a reassuring green status. Sometimes the greatest losses happen silently. So, my top tip for today is simple. Don't just ask, where is our data? Ask a far more important question. If future generations depended on the knowledge we are creating today, would they still be able to find it, understand it, trust it, and use it fruitfully? Because organizations are remembered not by what they built, but by what they preserve. With this, I would like to close today's episode. I hope I have been able to ignite some thoughts. My intent is never to give all the answers, but my intent is to raise questions in our minds. This one specifically dedicated to a series that I'm calling Lessons from Life, History, and Indian Wisdom. With this, logging off. But before I go, my assurance once again, if you have any questions about what we talked to today or anything about resilience, please feel free to write to me and I will be happy to respond back. This is your host, Daman Dev Sood, logging off from my weekly show, My Top Tips, every Sunday, 9 a.m. IST. Bye bye.